Hey, Soul Loves, it's Kimberly with Celestial Juju, and we have another big week of energy. So, I'm going to talk about a little bit about the whole week transits. I'll probably do another follow up with that, but this one's mostly going to be focused on Venus's journey and what that is for you. She's a interpersonal planet, and so she has really been the guiding energy since the eclipses. So I'm going to talk about that and her journey that she's been going through, that you've been going through since last week, the 29th. She conjuncted with the South Node and what that energy is about, because with um, Venus ruled that last eclipse. She is the South Node right now. Okay, the South Node is in Venus, and the North Node is in Aries. Aries is the symbol is. I'll put the symbols up here. The symbol that South Node looks like an upside down horseshoe. Okay, that's our karma. So when she did the square, no, conjunct with that on the 29th, and that's the energies that we've been in. That energy, last time it happened was, where's my notes, was 2005, and before that was like 1967. So it's the same house as it was then, and it's the same energy that we were in when United States was, doing its whole separation, um, was becoming a country, when people came here to this land from the European countries to establish in the it's when they were letting go of the rulership and saying no more, no more, you won't rule me anymore, and then I've come here to be in a free land. So that's the energy that we're in. So that reflection of her with the South Node is going to be a mirror in what you're letting go of. What's the same things that you may notice that you let go of in 2005 and that you'll be letting go of? It's like, and you won't have a whole lot of choice about it, because if you don't do it consciously, it will happen for you in your life. That's the difference between fate and destiny, because we're fated this and we have the choice to create our own destiny and how we'll utilize this energy. So I'm going to go into that and what that energy is for us, what it was for you in your sign, and then she moves from that energy where she went in conjunct with the South Node, which made her have a opposition to the North Node, which is what we're here to do now. And Aries is ruling that energy. So I'm going to give you the highlights of what this was, what this energy is to the collective, and then what it is personally to you and your houses. So when I do the individual stuff, I'll start out with the energy in the houses that's being affected by that, the Venus South Node position to Pluto. That's the big player in this. And then I'll move into Venus moving into Scorpio and what that energy is for you. Okay, so that's what we're doing on this one. So Venus, the planet of love, beauty, is always on the move as she transits through the zodiac sign. Because she's an interpersonal planet, she's about self-worth, beauty, what you value. And so this recent conjunct with the South Node in the opposition to the North Node set a stage for this transit. Okay, so on the 29th, these nodes formed this conjunct with Venus, creating a cosmic mirror that reflected our inner patterns, our emotional responses, and unresolved. It's the South Node is about unresolved issues in old karmic patterns, maybe even family karma patterns within our relationships. So Venus, despite she moves fast. She's a quickly moving planet compared to some of the other planets. So, as she moved this alignment served as allowing us to confront our subconscious patterns and unresolved issues of our relationships. So, the moon represents our unconscious aspects and the sun represents our conscious ones. So this energy is working together to cut this stuff away from us so we can bring more harmony into our inner being and into that will transpose out into our relationship. Okay, so Venus conjunct with that south node, we gain clarity of what doesn't align to our true selves. It highlights our core values and reveals any misalignment between our soul guidance and our current identity. This aspect prompts us to question our desires, what hinders us from achieving authentic and aligned relationships. It serves to as a reminder to know our self-worth and to stand up for it, and only allow people and situations into our lives that reflect true value, our self-worth. Relationships often mirror our inner struggles. That's what the whole law of attraction, like, we'll pull those people to us that's mimicking that so we can heal it. It's not about being a victim. It's about healing what those core issues are. Okay, so we can mirror our inner struggles, our wounds, our past conditioning, offering opportunities for growth and self-discovery. So that opposition with the North Node in Aries emphasizes the gap between our current state and our full potential. It encourages us to evaluate our core values and make a necessary change to align to our soul's path. And importantly, these insights, it applies to all relationships, romantic and other types of connection too in our life. Okay, so now Venus is moved. She's been in her home. She's been in the house of Libra for the last, for the last month. Okay. She basically stays in the sign about a month. So that's where she's been. And during that time period, there could have been a lot of energy coming up about having harmony in relationships. Now she's moving into Scorpio. And, it is said that Venus is, that she doesn't like being there, that it's not a place that she's exalted in her home and she's not here. And you know what? I natally have Venus in Scorpio. So a lot of the stuff that that everybody parrots about things and what this is and what this sign does in this house, I have found in my own personal journey, it's not the truth. It's not my truth. I'm not saying it's not the truth of the collective and then it's not a layer of it. But when you dive into your own chart and your own natal houses and what that is, you'll find out what your true power is in that. So I just wanted to say that because I don't feel the things that is labeled as the Venus in Scorpio that you read, like the little, it's like pulling a fortune cookie thing. I don't feel that. I don't feel that doesn't, and it could be all the other stuff that I have there because it is my rising sign and it's all, it's my ascendant. I also have a conjunct. I have a stellium there with Neptune and um Mercury and my anyway, so I don't feel all that. So I'm just telling you, don't buy into everything that all of the that you hear us all saying. Feel it within yourself and what that energy really is. And that's what Venus being in this Scorpio energy is about, and being in that south node and recognizing who you are and what this energy is for you. Okay, so this movement off her into Scorpio on the 4th, and she's going to remain there till December the 29th. This transit brings a surge of passion and deep emotions to relationships. Now, I may have a lot of passion. That's probably true that I have deep passion with stuff. So during this period, Superficial interactions. Well, I can say that's true too. I don't like superficial interactions. Superficial interactions may no longer serve you. That may be what is so clear, especially after we just got through going through, this energy that we've been in since the 29th of really reflecting this old karmic stuff and looking at what no longer serves us. And you may not, it was all on a subconscious level. And then you just go, I can't take it anymore. So we've been in that energy. Okay. Instead, you'll be drawn to seek profound, meaningful connections. And the Scorpio's energy intensifies emotions, making you more inclined to dive deep into relationships and to explore the psychological energy and the spiritual aspects of that. Well, I guess I have to claim that too. So this transit is going to encourage you to unite with others in ways that foster this psychological and spiritual breakthroughs. And it's a time to dive deep into the life's mysteries, whether it's, in books, captivating mysteries, soulful conversations, additionally considering opportunities to receive emotional and financial support in all kinds of different ways. Okay. So superficial flirting won't do it during this time period. During this Venus and Scorpio time period, you'll yearn for intense body soul connections with someone special, and this transit can lead to unforgettable encounters. It's amplified with the emotional and the sensual energy. Relationships could take a center stage during this time period, becoming all-consuming at times. You'll be driven by the desire for intense closeness, and your interactions may become more magnetic and deeply passionate. However, you may also grapple with fears of vulnerability and giving up your power as your sensitivity and passion intensify during this time period. So keep in mind that Scorpio is the all or nothing energy, and it magnifies the nature in your connections. And the spirit can also benefit you in your personal finances, especially when working closely with others and other business partnerships and intimate relationships. Okay, so this Venus in Scorpio is going to trine Pisces. So this is the date to remember for that energy. The key date on your calendar to mark with that is December the 5th, when Venus forms a harmonious trine with Saturn in Pisces. This aspect can promise steamy romances, financial blessings, and a potential for long-held dreams to come true. Whether you're committed in a relationship or you're single and looking, it's an excellent time to schedule one-on-one time with your partner or reconnect to past relationships, especially those of, love interests. This passion could intensify as the Venus in Scorpio transit can create moments that will linger in your memory for years. So as Venus makes this journey from Libra to Scorpio, that happens on the 4th, we're reminded of the profound impact of this movement and how it can reflect our relationships, our self-worth, in our self-work. So it's going to encourage us to confront our inner patterns and seek authentic connections. Okay, so we'll be drawn to explore the depths of our relationships, seeking meaningful connections. And the transits invites us to embrace the mysteries of life in the depth of the passion and the unforgettable encounters. So during this journey, as she moves into that, when she squared Pluto in Capricorn during this time period, and so that brought up right before she entered in this week, in the last 4 days. So we've been in this energy. So that energy and that transformational energy of the Pluto would have brought up this this energy of this what no longer serves you, what is no longer there to serve you, and what is the highest energy of this, and what is ready to transmute in your life. So it brought up this awareness, and you may see these things unfold. So look back at if you were born in 1967, if you were already here, what happened in your life from 67, 68, and then the energies in 2005 that came up in your life and your relationships. What did you let go of? What were your awarenesses? What did you move into? Because that's the kind of energy that we're in again this time, because Venus is the goddess of beauty, harmony, pleasure, and she squared off against Pluto, which is the lord of the underworld. And it's a planet of metamorphosis energy. So Venus's placement that was in her own sign added to this unique layer of this transit, making it potential that when this square happened, things that we could have seen in our own personal relationships and in the collective is control issues and relationships that could have come up, bringing that into the forefront for you, and noticing where you're being submissive at or where you're being dominant and what's no longer serving you in that. And you may have energy last week through this time period that carries over, that where your passions turn into obsessions. So we may have, where did we see that in the collective? Where it, that's like serial, still, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I won't say words that'll get me banded. So things that are like, when it goes extremes, it can be that kind of possessive stuff. If you look at people's charts that have done, things that are very obsessive and possessive. So we may have seen that type of stuff. We definitely have seen that, in the world and the things that's going there. And the other thing that can come, the beauty that can come through that is transformative art. So you can take that energy and use it in that way. You can use it in form of art and let it flow out in whatever that is. So also the energy that come up with that is seeking peace amidst the conflict. There's the intensity of the square calls for peace and stability, and the conflicts that happen in the world news that was happening. There were people on both sides screaming out for peace, and look at that. Look at the energy, the awareness of the consciousness of screaming for peace, and the unconscious energy still looking at control and manipulation. So all of this stuff in turmoil. So all of this stuff that's playing out in the world, it's what's happening. I'm not saying the planets are creating it, but it's the opportunity that we have to utilize this energy. And if we're not using these inner planets in our own inner world, then that energy will take over. And this is what happens. That's what's going on. That's what's going on in the world. It's fated things, and it can either, you can turn it into destiny and walk a path of destiny and utilize the energy, or you can let fate take over and destruction will happen one way or another. So, you get to choose how you're going to ride the wave. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go in to all signs and what that energy is for you, and this as this transit moves. So we're going to start out with the Venus in Pluto energy, and then I'm going to move into the Venus moving into Scorpio and what that is for you during this time period. Okay, I'm Kimberly Crow. I am a Western astrologer using whole sign system for this energy analysis. So listen up to your rising sign. That's what your soul came to rise to be in this world. You have to know your birth time to know your rising sign. You can do free charts. There's all kinds of ways out there in the world to get your free chart done so you can look at your stuff. And your sun is your birthday. It's the day you were born, where the sun was shining the day you were born. Okay? You and everybody else that were born that day have that same sun sign. Your rising sign is just like a 2-hour window there. Only the people that were born in that 2 hours have that on that day. So, and your sun can also be authority figures in your life, male authority figures. Okay? Your moon is your moon. It's what the moon, where it was at that when you were born, what phase the moon was in, what sign it was in during that time period. It is your emotional IQ. It is your unconscious energy and how you seek to be nurtured and how you nurture others. And it can be your mother in your chart. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start out with this of what that energy was, what you're letting go of, what the energy's bringing up for you, and then what you're moving into. Okay? Yes, Aries, we're starting out with you. So first we're going to dive into what that energy of transformation was, the houses that it affected for you, and then where Venus has moved into Scorpio in your chart. What's going on for you for the next how many ever days I said? To the 29th? I don't know anymore. Okay. This transit is taking place across the Venus transit was taking place in your 7th and 10th house. Venus here is a place of relationships, partnerships, contracts. Pluto was in your 10th house, your most public face that you show to the world as well as career. This transit in the workplace could be showing up workplace affairs. It could be the energy of that office romance. It also could look like a strain between intimate partnerships and your responsibilities at work. Again, control issues could come up. Jealousy, controlling partners. Who doesn't like you working long hours, for example? Another reminder to cultivate patience at this time. Try not to throw out the baby with the bathwater, and whether it's at your work or your relationships because of this transit. So that's the energy that you could be looking at and what's no longer going to serve you. And then as Venus moves into Scorpio on December the 4th to December the 29th, occupying your 8th house of shared resources, focusing on deep connection and commitments, whether it's in partnerships, business deals, or with significant others. You'll seek profound connections authentically. And at the same time, you may dive into some taboo topics, explored some shared resources or joint ventures. During this time, you'll be focused on the dynamics of others, sharing, and giving. That energy is going to question fairness and what the energy of that is. Venus will form a trine with Saturn in your 12th house. And it's also going to sextile Mercury in your 10th house of career. So it's a period that may be having opportunities to ask for support resources and making an ideal time for financial bonuses, paying off debts, receiving financial assistance, and possibly through loans and inheritance. It's also a spiritually significant transit for you, Aries. Okay. Moving into Taurus. So where Venus was in this transit for you was taking place across your 6th and 9th houses. Venus was in the place of service and how we give ourselves to others. Whether it's at our workplace or even at home, pets may also be involved here. So Pluto was in your 9th house as a higher education, long distance travel, ideals, and dreams. So be cautious of manipulation and legal matters. Try not to make any hasty decisions based on dogmatic advice from another. It also could relate to legal issues, for example, but it could also relate to health and work and your pet's health. Okay, anything that could feel like a grind that could have been coming up for you and knowing that you need to cut this away. So be wary of any advice that others are giving you now. Listen to your heart. And as Venus moves through into your 7th house, into Scorpio, into your 7th house of partnerships, it's going to emphasize deep connection in various relationships. This includes significant others, business partners, and your best friends. Authentically and truth will be a crucial during this transit for you. Expect opportunities for deep bonding and authentic connections from December the 4th to the 29th, enhancing your love life and your partnerships. It's an excellent time for dating, strengthening your current relationships, or forming partnerships with friends. Venus will form a trine with Saturn in your 11th house, emphasizing responsibilities within your social networks. Be cautious of overspending or compromising your personal goals for the sake of relationships around December the 9th and the 21st. But things could ease up by the 25th. Okay, moving on to Gemini. Okay, this transit started out with Venus, was happening in your 5th and your 8th house. Venus, this is a place of joy, pleasure, hobbies, children, more of life's pleasures and private pleasures. So Pluto was in your 8th house of shared resources, like partners' money, things that you jointly own, debts, loans that you own, what you own and what you owe. Okay, as well as death. And it can be times of inheritance or even losing inheritance during that time period. So the challenges that can come up with you could be around your kids and money, and that I can't do this anymore. This is not balanced for me. So their dependence on you may impact things like your duties as a parent, or if you don't have kids, it could be your hobbies, your other interests. What else is taking energy from you in that way? What's taking energy from your creativity? Or are your hobbies, are you spending too much on your hobbies? So you may cut away. It could even be addictions. You may see something and cut away something during that time period. Don't do anything drastic, but know that this energy could be coming up during this time period. So with that, so Venus is going to move on December the 4th to the 29th into your 6th house. It's going to move there, benefiting your health, your work, your daily life routines. You might find improvements in your well-being, efficient problem solving during this time period, and perhaps even a new doctor or healthcare regimen. Okay, Venus will trine Saturn in your 10th house, making your career life more rewarding. However, watch out for potential overextension on December the 9th and the 21st. On December the 25th, things could become more easier and harmonious during that time period. Dive deep into self-care practices. Prioritize joy in your daily routine and habits. If it ain't fun, then don't do it. Consider seeking guidance from mentors or guides during this time period. You might explore yoga, meditation, or volunteering to improve your overall well-being. Things that bring you joy, Gemini. Okay, Cancer rising. So this transit, oh, I lost my place, was happening. We're this not going to do this anymore energy was across your 4th and your 7th houses. So Venus was in the most private place of home, family roots and ancestors. So there could be changes, unexpected things that are just all of a sudden change for you. And Pluto was in your 7th house of relationships. So this is all about home, family, and relationships for you, partnerships and contracts. So it's actually a really good transit to address control issues within the family and relationships. There might be tension between those in those two life areas for you with your family and your partner, for example, or it could just be that you find pockets of peace during this time period, and after the whatever you let go of, that it's like the burdens that you're carrying from the family that's not yours, you'll feel stability, and it may come in agreements. If things feel tense at this moment, then know that it's time for this to move out of your life. And so as Venus moves into Scorpio and enters into your 5th house between December the 4th and the 29th, it's going to encourage pleasure, joy, and creative expression and romance for you. That's that house of creativity. So this house represents fun, romance, taking risk, embrace opportunities for deep joy, and love, whether it's in romantic relationships or creative pursuits. Connect to your inner child, explore your passions. This is a favorable period for dating and enjoying creative projects. Go do one of those paint parties with somebody or whatever it is that you want to do with your partner. Okay. Venus will trine Saturn in your ninth house, making education and travel more enjoyable. Be cautious about overcommitting on December the 9th and the 21st, and December the 25th is going to bring happier and more peaceful energy to you, Cancer. Okay, Leo. So, this transit of what you're letting go of in the South House of Karma was happening across your third and your sixth house. Oh, just all of a sudden, it got this tight energy all over me and a headache. I don't know if that was yours, Leo. Venus is in the place of siblings, neighbors, your local environment, and daily rituals. The media that you consume, Pluto in your sixth house of service, and how you might give yourself to others and what work might be, and even at the home. It's time to be cautious about manipulation. And what are you manipulating in your daily routines right now? And people, unsolicited advice, and how you live your life. Um, that includes, even astrologers like me. So pay attention to the forms of media that you're taking in, and even the energy around your siblings, your neighbors, people that you encounter on a regular basis. How much are you letting that get into your head? It's also a good time to figure out what you would make your day to day, what would make your day to day life more enjoyable for you and less of a grind. But again, it's your choice and no one else's. So you have to follow your own heart with this. So as Venus moves into Scorpio, it'll be in your fourth house home from December the 4th to the 9th, enhancing your family connections, your home life, and focusing on bringing um, romance and beauty into your home. You might redecorate, move, or improve your living situation during this time period. Venus will trine Saturn in your eighth house, possibly leading to financial benefits related to your home. Be mindful of balancing work and family responsibilities between on the 9th and the 21st. On the 25th, it's going to offer a more softer and harmonious atmosphere. You'll seek comfort and beautiful living space during this transit. So be cautious about who you invite into your private sanctuary. So, because Scorpio can either draw people in who you repel or repels you. So be careful with that energy. Your career and how you communicate with others could also be emphasized during this time period, Leo. Okay, Virgo. So, what your dumping cup? Where this transit was happening for you in that South Node, Venus that crossed your fourth and fifth house. Venus is in the place of finances and resources. That second house is your value, skills, things that specifically support you, your own personal possessions and resources. And Pluto in your fifth house of joy, pleasure, hobbies, and creativity and children. It's a really good transit to transform your approach to money. Be cautious in financial investments, and especially where you kind of just want to throw caution to the wind and have some fun. And being aware that fun costs money too, honey. Okay. But the best things in life are ultimately free, and that's the joy you have with others. Use this time to enjoy yourself. Hopefully, save some cash by doing some of the things. Pluto's connection to your wealth and power is a reminder to balance material concerns and not hold on to possessions too tightly, Virgo. Okay? So when Venus moves in to this transit into Scorpio, she's going to enter into your third house on December the 4th and 29th, sparking inspiration and improvement communication, emphasizing deep, authentic connections with neighbors in daily communications. You'll want more profound conversations and interactions moving beyond superficial exchanges. Scorpio's magnetic energy will either attract or repel people, and it's an excellent time for creative expression and sharing your thoughts and ideas. You'll find pleasure in writing, teaching, and connecting with siblings and neighbors. So that could even be, neighbors at your workplace. Okay. Venus will trine Saturn in Pluto. No, Neptune. I'm sorry, Neptune in your seventh house, making it a good time for dating, partnership projects, and short trips. Watch out for potential debates or flexibility issues on the 9th and the 21st. And on December the 25th, it's going to bring positive, enjoyable vibes for you, Virgo. Okay, Miss Libra, Mr. Libra. Venus starts out in this transit for you. It's happening across your first house and your fourth house. It's your identity. It's all about you there. Okay. It's about your first house is your identity. It's who you are, who you aspire to be, your health. Pluto is in your fourth house of family. So it's that energy, the conflict between who you are and what your family wants from you, or what is it that you're, letting your home, your family roots, your ancestors. It's like, what is the energy that you're ready to let go of for your self identity? So this is it's old karmic issues with all of that. It could be a great transit for feeling personally empowered and to address issues that may stem from childhood family dynamics. Even ancestral work might also be a time for addressing foundations in your self image, your personal values, as well as what makes you feel safe and grounded in your living environment. So, when Venus moves into Scorpio, it's going to be in your second house, highlighting your self worth, your finances, your material possessions, and emphasizing money and values. Your focus on creating a secure and beautiful environment you may invest in some items that you value, that are value top investments, art, whatever. Okay, furniture, whatever it is. Okay. This transit also emphasizes your appearance and how you present yourself in the world. So Scorpios intensely will draw you into deeper connections, and you'll want authentic relationships and interactions. This is a great time to make money through Venusian pursuits for you, like art and beauty. Venus will be forming a trine with Saturn and Neptune in your sixth house, making more rewarding possibilities, leading to financial bonuses. Be cautious of overspending around December the 9th and 21st, and be prepared for discussions related to resources and negotiations. Okay. And I just realized I haven't been using my mic the whole time. I'm using my computer mic. Okay, moving on. Scorpio. This transit and what you're letting go of, the dumping karma cup, was happening across your 12th house and your third house. Venus is in the place of hidden enemies that can be those that are literal enemies. What we face are our internal enemies that we face on a more self-sabotaging, undermining ourselves in different ways. As this well placed, this could be a time for you to go into retreat and into isolation and to look at what this is for you. Pluto in this third house is a house of sibling, neighbors, and local environment, and your daily rituals, the kind of what kind of media you're consuming in your early education. It's also a transit that could bring up some issues around your communication. You know, do do you feel heard? It's like, do you know that you feel heard? Do you feel that energy? Are you listening to others, or others listen to you? It's time to transform your thoughts, your words positively, and there may be a need to take a pause from certain media outlets and pay attention to resources of information and pay attention to your mental health during this time period. When Venus enter into your first house, making you more charming and interesting in your appearance. It's time for personal makeovers and creative projects. Venus will trine Saturn and Neptune in your fifth house of creativity, enhancing your creative and romantic side. Watch out for potential relationship tensions around the 9th and the 21st, but expect breakthroughs as well. Venus in Scorpio intensifies your passions, your sensual nature, making you memorable and magnetic to others. You'll seek profound connections and authentic relationships, whether it's romance, creative pursuits, or pleasure. The Scorpio energy pushes for deep bonding. It's a time to be raw and authentic with others, sharing your innermost feelings. A trine with Saturn in Pisces enhances these connections and bringing joy and pleasure to your life, Scorpio. Okay, Sagittarius. So, the karmic dumping cup for you. This is happening across your 11th and second houses. Venus is in the place of it's in a place of good symbol for you. People with experiences and community who raise up to you and support you and inspire you. So Pluto is in your second house of finances, resources, and skills, and things that specifically support you. Also, things like your own personal possessions. So these are the things that could be changing for you. Sudden changes with this. If you suddenly, lose your job, know that you're going to get a better one, that you get more pay. So, friends or groups of dynamics. It's a wise time for you to try to avoid power struggles. You might feel drawn to trying to express your passions through social issues, causes like art or community benefit. Be mindful to avoid financial manipulation during this time period, especially from peer pressure during this time period. Okay, don't invest in things that you don't want to just because others are telling you to. Okay, so then Venus is going to enter into Scorpio, into your 12th house, which is going to represent your dreams, your intuition, your psychic abilities retreat. This transit encourages deep emotional connections and tapping into otherworldly energies. Venus also influences your 11th house, fostering profound bonds with social groups, friends, and creative projects. Be cautious not to follow blindly. This period may bring recognition and you may recognize and a connection with other people far and wide, helping you leave your mark on society. Venus is moving through your 12th house, emphasizing privacy and behind the scene activities. It's a good time for introspective and creative work, and perhaps even fantasy relationships during this time period. Venus will trine Saturn and Neptune in your 4th house, potentially leading to changes in your home and your family life. Be cautious about overworking yourself around December the 9th and the 21st. And you should have uplift of joyous energy on the 25th when O Saint Nick visits your sign, Sagittarius. Okay. Capricorn. Your karmic dumping cut is happening across your 10th house and your first house. Venus is in the place of your most public face that you show to the world. It's your career. Pluto in your first house of identity, ego, self, who you are, who you aspire to be. The topic of control or manipulation may occur in professional relationships, so watch out for that. It's your sense of self that could be challenged during this time period, the terms of how you appear, particularly to the public eye. There may also be a time to urge you to receive more recognition for something. And remember that it's the theme of patience and taking pause, that things could come to those who wait, Capricorn. Don't just jump out and do action to get recognized, because it's not going to be in alignment. And if you do, you learn from it. So Scorpio is going to, Venus is going to move into Scorpio, into your 11th house, emphasizing your connections with social groups, interested in working in networks, in your friends, and with your creative projects. You'll seek deep, memorable connections with these circles. Be careful not to follow without discernment. Okay. Venus also rules your 10th house of career and public life, suggesting that you can use these connections to advance your professional goals. Additionally, this transit may highlight the importance of balancing daily habits with your self-care. It's a favorable period for connecting with friends and pursuing dreams. Venus will trine Saturn and Neptune in your second house, indicating possible financial rewards or recognition for your efforts. Be mindful of balancing home and work duties around the 9th and the 21st, Capricorn. Okay. Aquarius. This is happening across the karmic Dumpet Cup is happening in your 9th and 12th houses. Venus is in the place of higher education, long distance travel, foreign lands, ideals, and dreams. Pluto is in your house of hidden enemies, things, the kind of enemies that we face in the outer world, but also the ones that come from within, things that self-sabotaging and undermining ourselves. So it may be time to explore transformative philosophies or spiritual practices. You might find yourself seeking wisdom in unconventional places, exploring the deep of your psychic through art and travel, seeking spiritual guidance from feminine sources in particular. So, as Venus moves into Scorpio, she's going to be moving into your 10th house of career, highlighting opportunities to enjoy your work, express your creative energy, bringing recognition to your career and public life between December the 4th to the 29th. Venus will trine Saturn and Neptune in your second house, potentially leading to financial bonuses and increased job satisfaction. Be cautious about potential conflicts between home and work responsibilities. On the 9th and the 21st, your ambition shines, drawing people towards you. It also can repel those who don't align with your goals. You'll seek deep connections that contribute to your legacy. So Venus also rules your 9th house, encouraging you to explore cross-culture experiences and spirituality, opening up to profound connections during this time period. Okay. Pisces, your karmic Dumpet cut transit is taking place across your 8th and 11th houses. Venus is in the place of shared resources like your partnerships, monies, and things you jointly own. Debts, loans that you owe, and what's owed to you. Pluto is in the place of a good time for you. Um, it can lift you up. Who can give you the lift up? Who can give you support? This could be a time to address control issues, particularly when it comes to shared resources. It's also a good time to be cautious in group dynamics and avoid emotional manipulation and getting overly involved in other people's baggage. Venus moves into Scorpio, into your 9th house, promoting cross culture experiences and spiritually exploring. You'll be drawn to deep, meaningful connections in foreign places with people from different backgrounds. Venus also influences your 3rd house, highlighting communication with family, neighbors on your daily contacts. It's a time for bonding and this transformation in these relationships. The trine to Saturn in Pisces on the 5th may bring love at first sight for you and a strong desire for connection. It's a good time to expand your horizons, dive into new subjects, and even embark on a journey. Venus, that trine with Saturn and Neptune in your 1st house is making you question life's purpose and legacy. Be mindful of potential surprises and disruptions in your plans around December the 9th and the 21st. Okay, people, we move through this. You can go check out this one that I did. It's about Mars. Mars is going to be in Sagittarius from November the 24th to January the 4th, all signs. So I went into what that means for you in each house, what else have I got up? I'm doing a collaboration this week with Louisa and Jasmine, Jasmine on the 6th on Saturn, and I'll do a weekly thing. I'll probably do a I'm going to let this be the depth of the week, but we got some Neptune stuff that I want to talk about too. So that's what's going on. So thank thank you. You have the power to protect your peace, and you do that by going into your heart, connecting to your soul purpose. Gaia holds the records to your soul purpose and what you're here for. And when you connect and align to that, then you can hold your peace in the world when all the other stuff is spinning and seems to be out of control. Okay? So just remember that during these trying times. So thank you. This is Kimberly with Celestial Juju. Thank you so much for watching, for sharing, for commenting. I know some of you all have asked for timestamps, and I made those little things in the background for you because I knew how to do that. So you can just use your finger and go across the browser and see your sign and go straight to it. If you listen to the front part, then you understand what's going on for the collective, for you, and how that works out. And then listen to the signs and other people. But that's all you have to do. For me to do timestamps, I got to learn how to do it. I already spend, like 20 hours a week on one of these videos, you all. I don't think people realize how much it takes for us to do that. I'm not complaining. I'm in an education space right now. So, yeah, and I just have a little channel, so I don't have a team to do all of that for me. So if you want to do that for me, I will greatly receive and appreciate that, and blessings to you. Okay? So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for incarnating on earth. Thank you for being who you are and the gift that you are to humanity, and dance your freaky dance and be who you are and enjoy these transits and dump your karmic cup. Bye.